this adaptation from RSG, right? Leaving the Claude open in these two games have been such a big winning condition for RRQ. They're using this really well. Skylar, he's farming really well on this Claude, getting to the point where he can melt everyone in that late game. Light, every time he wants to engage, looking for that opportunity, he just gets melted down, and the engage just becomes so much less impactful.
Yeah, I agree. And on top of it all, Valentina, even though he's been banned so many times, he's got hit by a nerf not once but twice in 2 different patches. And because of that, we are starting to see a little bit of fall off in terms of early aggression, right? We were expecting a lot of Valentina burst in the early games, but you can see the damage is very, very lacking. As a utility-wise, it's amazing, but compared to Eve, it feels like it was very, very like a pick-off composition rather than a full-fledged teamfight coming from Valentina. So it's just very, very difficult to execute. And in terms of ultimates-wise as well, he wasn't able to pull off some big, big plays, especially coming from RSG PH. So I feel like Valentina is okay, but they needed more CCs rather than just 1v1 pickoffs.
Yeah, I mean, and that also plays to RRQ's draft, right? Because yes, you have the Valentina, but then I pick things like Franco. I pick things like Esmeralda, Julian. You cannot really steal the entirety of his kit as well. The only thing that was really useful for RSG to take was the real-world manipulation. And the fact that, you know, RRQ knew that, they were prepared to counter it. So in the end, I think that didn't quite work out for RSG PH. And like you said, and you pointed out many times, Terrence, as well, that the draft of RSG PH, they were forced to walk up slowly to RRQ, but that Ice Queen won, and just so much slows coming from RRQ really made them, it affected their ability to engage in these team fights.
That's a point that we can, you know, talk about even more here, emphasize a little bit more. The itemization from RRQ has been massive. The fact that they chose to go for that Ice Queen 1 up against a Thamus, up against a dive composition is just so smart. But ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again for game number 3. Remember, RRQ need one more to go and take that Grand Finals ticket, as we will just jump straight at it with the first pick. RSG Philippines still has that first pick. Franco, question mark? Yes.
Yeah, I feel like they cannot let this off anymore. It's something that just Vin is just an absolute monster at it. And I feel like this time they are going to be focusing a little bit better on towards comfort drafts away from RRQ. But I feel like I want to talk about itemizations. RRQ, they have very, very clear signs on targeting specific players or heroes in every single game. Game 1, it was pretty much on the Bruno with the plate armor itemization. Game 2 is Ice Queen's 1. However, RRQ, with the Valentina slit off, this time they are going to pick it up for themselves to pair up with R7 on his famed Esmeralda.
Yeah, now this time the Valentina being left open, RRQ goes ahead to snap pick that. It does still leave heroes open. They still, RSG still has the opportunity to pick up the Julian here if they wanted to, but now, knowing that there's a Valentina on the opposing team, they have to be careful of the ultimate. It looks like they're going to go into the Karina as well as the Dura.
Well, that just opens up RRQ to pick up the Julian here, right? It's setting up for it. They have the choice to pick it up, but now where's the Valentina going to go? Is it going to... Oh, there you go. Whoa, Lancelot pickup. They noticed that RSG Philippines have been banning this Lancelot out in the second phase almost 2 games in a row straight up. Now, let's pick it up in the first phase, but this leaves an opening for RSG Philippines to take that Claude away.
Yeah, I feel like the Claude is something that they have to get rid, but at the same time, we've seen Skylar play the Irritail roaming as well. But here comes the annoying part about the composition from RRQ, right? If you think about it, Valentina's got a lot of mobility. Esmeralda's got sustains. Lancelot's got a lot of mobility as well. And time again, we've seen Albert in a situation where he's forced to play tank Lancelot, even though it's not favorable. But because of him taking advantage of the mobility composition, it's just so annoying. And we've seen it from game 1 with his Benedetta from RRQ.
Yeah, so maybe they will go in, I mean, their draft right now kind of counters that Franco, right? With that mobile approach, he might not be able to land the hooks as much. RSG PH gonna go ahead and ban out the Lolita here. Speaking of the Franco, I mean, do you think we'll see instead of Popo and, instead of Claude, it could be a Popo and Cooper as well?
Yeah, actually, this is a fun fact. Now that you mentioned Popo and Koopa, RSG Philippines, the 2 most banned heroes that they have been banning out has been the Valentina and the Popol and Koopa. Now, this is where it might be left open for RRQ to take. They ban out the carry here, interestingly, and they leave it up to RSG Philippines. Do you want to take the Claude away, or do you want to go for your usual ban? Is it the Pop Ball? It's going to be the Claude coming through. That's the ban. RRQ have the chance to pick up the Pop Ball right here. This hero has been banned out so many times by RSG, and we might see why.
Yeah, it's going to be respect, you know. It makes a lot of sense considering that how Skylar has been playing this zoning tactics. I feel like putting in towards Irritel isn't too bad considering that everyone was at RSG PH doesn't have a very, very good chase composition. But looks like he is going to play the Space. 22 win rate on that Brody doesn't give me a little bit of confidence with Brody, but it does give you a little bit of disengage if the Karina decides to dive over, or even the Derov as well when it comes to backlines.
Yeah, definitely. And it's still really bursty, right? Like, it's kind of like Claude in the Blazing Duet, but this time you have the torn apart memory. On the other side, RSG gonna pick up the Yi for themselves as well as the Clint. So no crazy picks here.
No, yeah, they're going for comfort this time around. RSG Philippines, they're down 2 games. I think this is the right way to go. But for RRQ, on the other side, on the flip side, they're going for a very risky draft once again. This is with the Valentina, Lancelot. This is very oriented in the early game. Oh, RSG, they got a horse supporter, man.
Oh my god, that's a crazy horse right there coming from RSG PH. But at the same time, the drafts looks pretty good from RSG PH, and now the tank remains coming from RRQ. I feel like they need some sort of pickup potential. A Ruby isn't too bad in terms of cancelling the Karina or the Eves as well, considering that they need to go backlines. Grok isn't too bad, but looks like it is going to be a support Valentina?
Wow.
A support Valentina? Okay.
Well, okay.
I've never seen that before, but okay.
We've seen this in Indonesia, the Roamer Valentina, a couple of times. But again, yeah, it's very rare to see this. And RRQ, the confidence off their roofs, I feel like, for them right now, is they're trying to use this experimental draft for their match point game.
Well, to be fair, they have that space to navigate around these games. It's a best of 5, so they don't have to secure this game if they don't want to. And I mean, it is up to RSG here to prove themselves, to realize that, you know, it's really down to the execution. They need to nail it on the head because it is their tournament life here at stake. Granted, they do step into the lower brackets and have a chance, but they don't want to miss this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going game number 3, RRQ Hoshi and RSG Philippines, the Land of Dawn.
1 ticket to the grand finals here for both of these teams. RRQ 1 game away from taking it. RSG still a long way to come back to this game, but let's get right at it. Both of the junglers once again starting on their purple buff start, but honestly, I feel like RSG have the upper edge in that early stage of the game with Light on the Franco and with the Karina. They're already going on to the Lethal Wanderer here as Lancelot just finishes up on that purple buff.
Yeah, this is going to be a very difficult composition for RRQ to actually come on top, and you can see how defensively they're playing as of yet, making sure that Albert has a pretty good lane. And this tank Lancelot coming from RRQ Hoshi is gonna take some time. It's at least 1 to 2 item progression. So there's gonna be a lot of emphasis on Vin being annoying by using those Terrifies to actually scare off the Franco alongside with R7 making those split push pressure for the team. So it's gonna be difficult, but here comes the hook. It doesn't connect on Skylar, and Skylar looking to bully Iman out of the lane.
Yeah, Vin though also rotating here, going all the way in, trying to get that Terrify off. Not just yet, but I think that's what's key to this Valentina pick here. He wants to be able to rotate, get those ganks in, match Light's aggression here on the top and the bottom lanes as well. So right now, on the bot side is R7 and NASA having a better time in the last game.
Yeah, Nats right now, he is bullying the Esmeralda. R7 not really stepping out of his comfort zone there. The turret is going to be the defensive line between him and RSG. But he just wants to play around here. Ooh, Light catches the gold minion. R7 on the bottom side. Abyssum Strike and Demon Kite instantly once again. It's going to be first blood, but Play looking for the trade. He brings Demon Kite back, and Albert with the Phantom Execution finds the trade. The Roamer, I mean the XP laner here traded in for the jungler.
That is huge coming from RRQ Hoshi. They needed that kind of kills for Albert, considering that he does have a relatively early power spike. And because of that, he's going to take advantage of the issue. But I want to talk about the skills that Vin can actually skill on the IME. Abyssum Strike, not too bad to actually set up for the Brody. Real Illumination as well, but seems like top side there is going to be contest coming in. Vin in stick. the Bloody Hunt instead. So this is going to be a very, very scary opportunity if the Karina dives in and gets caught out.
It's just so weird, right? If you're RSG, you're starting to get frustrated here because it feels like it's just a kill, a gank down below. You don't expect the Sicilian to be ganking in the early stage. You expect him to be just pinned down in lane, going for farm and looking for stacks. That's not what play does though. As we saw from the kill participation, even on Sicilian, he's so active on the map.
Yeah, and it's crazy, right? The way that he can abuse this hero, even though it is a late game scaling hero. And right now, across the board, it's going to be Demon Kite and Albert. How do you think these two are going to match up to each other in jungle?
It's a little bit difficult, but when it comes to the matchup, right, as of yet, before the first item power spike, I feel like Albert does have a little bit upper hand in terms of the Thorn Rose. He's got to do a little bit more damage. But once you hit to level 2, level 3, Demon Kai is going to be able to scale the ball. But no, looks like the pickoff comes in. Vin taking advantage of the Bloody Hunt. And this is exactly how you dictate the tempo. Stop the aggression, hold the ultimate, wait for the right moment, and just shut him down.
The efficiency of the Valentina here in game number 3, you can see it, right? Vin, he took that actually in that top side. He saved it all the way, waited for that opening as R7 in that bottom side. It's actually, so yeah, he's going equal. He's going even up against Nats, who has an XP lead. But again, as an Esmeralda, you're usually just the weaker one in the lane. RSG, though, I feel like they're playing on the wrong side of the map here. They should be trying to punish the Esmeralda down below. They're playing up top, but again, it comes down to the execution of what they want to try to do. They want to punish the Brody here in lane, and RRQ, they're just farming really well at this point of the game. 600 gold lead now built, and they will have the better setup towards the second turtle of the game.
Yeah, I mean, RRQ, they are still keeping up despite him having the later draft here. And that's crazy. RSG PH, they're basically forced to match RRQ's pace here. RSG, they are trying to make use of their early game. The hook misses, but Albert goes in. He wants to contest his turn. Now they have the advantage. Bats Feast being popped right now.
No.
And the real manipulation comes up in defense, but line. His Vinden's gonna go down first. Demon Kite clocks up a double kill for himself. The counter aggression from RSG PH.
That was a good catch coming from Light as well, knowing that Vin did have the Bloody Hand. When in Flicker, immediately got punished as well. You can see Vin trying his best to cancel the real world manipulation and immediately got punished for it. So a small victory from RGPH, but hopefully it's going to transition a little bit more because as of now, Albert completely bullying Aqua out the lane. Doesn't want to give him the XP and gold to scale with this Eve.
Oh, look at that. A little win there for Light as he steals away the Lethal Wanderer with his hook, but in the bottom side doesn't what we expected from RSG. Punishing the Esmeralda with Nats winning lane there in the kill pressure department. RQ, though, they're looking for the trade up top. They know that Clint can't really defend this with Finn, but the hook connects, and that's going to be the suppression coming in. Albert jumps in with the Thorn Rose, is able to deal the damage, slice off, and Mon getting chunked low. He's going to get taken down. Albert trying to run away. The real world manipulation is there to lock him in place. Light picks up the kill, and RSG are back. Skylar will be able to trade it off for the turret, but RSG, they have the better position now.
Yeah, and as of yet, based on the composition, it feels like trading off Albert and Vin is not the end of the world for RRQ because the true carry is gotta be Skylar. For him to get himself a big kill and tier 1 is gonna help him scale a little bit more. However, Clay now in a little bit of trouble. They might look to return the tides against this, but it's just a little bit too risky knowing that anything can happen with Light with the hooks.
Definitely. RSGPH, even though they have the lead here slightly, they don't want to push this too much because RRQ, they definitely are the disciplined team as well. We've seen their plays all throughout MSC, being able to keep their cool. And the next objective coming up in 10 seconds, Turtle up top. Both teams going to start to look at this.
It's going to be RSG Philippines, I believe, who has the pressure here when it comes to the third turtle. RRQ, Clay, and Skylar, they've just been farming a lot, right? And I don't think the power spike has hit just yet. Albert looks for the steal there. It's going to be Vin who gets hooked in. Bloody Hunt there to lock him down. Sanguine Claws connecting onto 2, but RSG find a pick and a turtle in that fight.
Yeah, good disengage coming in from RRQ as well, knowing that Vin is a pretty expendable expense to lose him, right? Losing him isn't the end of the board. As long as Skylar lives, they can look to make a comeback. Whereas RGPH, they have to take advantage of the situation. And here comes the hook again from Light.
RSG, they're trying to go into the backline, take some more out from RRQ, but the zoning coming from Aqua is just too much for RRQ to do anything about, and they take the tier 1 mid turret completely for free here. They want to contest the jungle. The Bloody Hunt comes out onto Alba. Phantom Execution used just to escape, as well as the Bat's Feast in defense.
There you go, RSG fully controlling the game now. It is on their hands. They have map pressure currently. No turrets taken down except for that top side first turret. RRQ Hoshi, they're forced to play it defensively. They're forced to play it reactively, and that's where RSG Philippines find their tempo. The death ball strategy that we saw back in MPL PH is now fully on and fully running.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Death Ball strategy as well. Demon Kai is 5-1-1. This is a Karina that, even though it's kind of fallen off of meta, completely ignored throughout MSC. And the reason being is that you need him to snowball. And currently, Demon Kai's got the perfect game. He's got 5-1-1. His damage output is also scaling alongside RRQ. And look at this, the confidence coming from Demon Kai to force Angel. But Light with the hook, how? How did he get that?
Here comes the Tornapot Memories trying to put out some damage. Finn goes down, taken off by Iman and RSG PH again. Even though they went for the aggressive play there, they got the advantage, they got the kills, they got everything.
How did Light catch Clay out of everyone there? Oh my god, that was beautiful by Light. The fact that he was able to find the right target there, and even before he got Skylar. So this is going to be the question for RRQ. How do they evade from the hooks that just keep on coming through? They don't have any tanky members aside from R7 here, who hasn't really hit his power spike as well. That's a free Lord onto the hands of RSG Philippines. 4,000 golden Light again just shines through as he finds Albert with the Bloody Hunt.
Well, Franco wins games, ladies and gentlemen. Franco wins games. And as of yet, masterclass performance coming from Light, making sure he gets the right target. And currently, RRQ, they have no choice but to completely dodge fights until Skylar comes online. But before that, let's take a look at the damage output coming so far. Iman, 21,000. No surprises considering that he's got free hits, free dummy targets throughout all the pickoffs so far.
Yeah, Iman sitting at the top of the charts now, and that's not going to be good for RRQ Hoshi as they go into this game. The Lord is also coming down the bottom side, so RRQ, they need to be able to defend this.
You can see the Ice Queen Wand also built up from Aqua here, and that's going to provide so much utility that RRQ just doesn't have currently. Esmeralda actually fell behind in lane because of all the ganks coming in, and obviously with Nats on that Dyrok just pressuring him constantly, and he's only actually able to take that enchanted talisman. Now Vin taking that Bloody Hunt, give the real world manipulation, locking them all in place. Lord is going to go in onto the base with Amon just chunking that turret down. Clay clearing it out, Albert as well, moving over to the mid lane. Will be a good defense for RRQ. The hook does not connect once again, but RSG, they find all of the turrets outside the base.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very difficult situation for RRQ Hoshi, considering that now Albert, I just caught a glimpse of items as well. I thought he was going to go for a tank landslide, which we did see before. It seems like he's going for full damage. That means there is not enough people soaking up damage. In this case, R7, not even close to his a big defensive item. He's got Enchanted Talisman. Next item, Dominance Eyes. Is not even completed yet. So it's going to take a little bit more time before they can actually have a pretty decent tank in the front line for RRQ.
I agree. It's going to be rough here for RRQ because of that no front line, but RSG Philippines, look at this Light going for the play again. Goes for the Iron Hook. R7 able to dodge, sidestep away from that, but now it's going to be the real world manipulation. Light flickers forward and he finds R7. It's going to be traded back though. 1-for-1. XP lane for Roamer. I would take that any day if I was RSG PH. Nats jumping back onto Skylar. The stun comes in and the damage from Clay is starting to show. That bat impact, you can no longer write that off.
You can see RSG, they want to close this as quick as possible as well before Clay starts to output even more damage. But looking at RRQ, yes, they have that opportunity. They are really far behind though, 6k gold at this point. So how do you think they need to start looking at this?
It's all about buying time coming for RRQ, right? It's all about making sure that Clay is able to scale 15, and once you build out those Sicilian stacks, that is where he hits the hardest. And as of yet, R7 getting punished time and time game means he's not going to be able to be very, very tanky. Skylar, he just got his Brute Force breastplate. That means there is going to be a little bit lesser damage on that marksman division, which like I said as well, he needs 1 to 2 more items. And RSG PH, they cannot afford to give away this lead to RRQ Hoshi. And now they are going to start off the Lord, and I don't think RRQ Hoshi can start at all.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think they started it a little bit prematurely there. They had to wait for the 12-minute mark to get that enhanced Lord, and now that it is enhanced, they started again. There you go. That's RSG Philippines again, staying disciplined, don't really want to rush things, but RRQ, it seems like they want to force a fight here. Vin really dashing forward, Light going to be chunked there. He goes in for the hook, goes on to Vin, that's a suppression as well. Real world manipulation, locking all of them in place. Skylar forced the flicker back. Nats looking for the re-engage. Light is low, but he can still look for another hook as RSG, with this pick, with this man advantage, they will surely be looking for a free Lord here.
Yeah, they're gonna turn their sights to that immediately, as you said. RSG Demon Kite now at the Lord. No chance for RRQ to contest this at all. Nas goes for R7, tries to put some damage, but it's not gonna be enough to disengage. They have to back away to protect some of their turrets back here.
Yeah, that's going to be an easy turret destroyed down bottom from RRQ. Actually, a little bit small victories in terms of map control. But I want to talk about how important that fight was. Because RRQ, they should have died a little bit more. But because they had Brute Force Breastplate, they were having so much mobility to kite away the real manipulation. It's all good for RRQ. As long as they do not lose Skylar, all is well. And it's all about buying time as of yet. Albert is level 14. And if and only if RRQ is able to defend against his Lord, it's a pretty good timing to actually make a comeback for RRQ.
The lack of frontline is really hurting RRQ here. And now with the Lord coming down on the bottom side, they will definitely secure this bottom inhibitor. RSG looking to get even more out of this. There you go. Bottom is gone. RSG cracking open the base. RRQ trying to look for an opportunity. Aqua already at half HP, but gonna play safe. So RSG just focusing on the objectives.
Yeah, RRQ with the standard defense again. They don't want to try anything too fancy. They are A-okay with giving turrets away. It just gives RSG Philippines the chance. And now, look at this. A curveball from RRQ. They go in for a play on it. Skylar goes in for the stun. It's going to be Vin actually locked up there in the midst of it all. He gets taken down. That was them with no follow-up. Abyssum Strike connects as that's Clay looking for the Sanguine Claws. Gets 2, but again, they lose 1 for nothing. RSG just 2 steps ahead here when it comes to RRQ's pickoff game.
Yeah, it's just so very difficult to fight this, especially with the Franco plays, right? We talked about this for days now. That's the power of what Franco brings to the table. However, you can't write off RRQ yet. It's possible to make a comeback as long as they stall into his later stage game. Unless Light gets this hook, or no, he doesn't, but it's still going to be a borrowed time as of yet, because if one mistake is all they need from RRQ to make a comeback, it's same can be said for RSG PH as well. They need one mistake from RRQ and it's over for them.
I mean, at this stage, we're almost 15 minutes, right? As these two teams scale up, get their items, it is MLBB at its prime. Any mistake in any team fight could cost you potentially the game. And RSG, though, they are getting full map control at this point, and even though you said RRQ, they have to buy their time, buy enough for them to fight RSG, they are stripping everything from RRQ.
Yeah, I definitely agree in that sense as well. But we did see an Ice Queen 1 purchase up on Clay, so we are going to see a little bit more utilitarian on this Cecilion. But like I said as well, it's only one item. It helps you in one small fight, but they still need to buy a little bit more time. And currently R7, he's not even close to his Oracle yet. And okay, never mind. As soon as I say it, he just got it. But even then, it's still not enough. He needs his secondary item, maybe an Ice Queen 1, maybe an Immortality. It's all about buying those times. And now with the next Lord, I don't think RRQ Hoshi should force the fight. They should go for pickoffs. However, RSG, they have something new in store. They're looking for the gank on Skylar, and I don't think they realize that this is happening.
This is a sandwich play here that RSG is doing, and this could be really good. Again, that backline presence from RRQ, and here it is, Light RSG, the read, the beautiful macro play as RRQ just scramble here. R7 looking for the play. It's going to be been taken down, and RSG, what a play! What a 200 IQ macro decision to stay in that bush with 3 members.
Absolutely insane. You can see that RRQ Hoshi, they tried their best. The moment they recognized that that was what RSG was doing, they immediately retreated. Skylar flickered away, but still split apart. Completely nothing they can do. And now RSG, they get this Lord completely for free, but up top, Skylar gets suppressed just as we were talking about him. Nowhere for him to go, even with the Immortality. And that's RRQ Hoshi down to 2 men. Clay with the Sanguine Claws and a Bat's Impact. Not going to be able to do anything. Here we go, though. They're trying to fight back as much as possible.
Let's see if they're actually able to defend here for RRQ. It's all against them as RSG have 3 waves pushing up and the mid lane with that enhanced lord in the 16th minute of the game. 10,000 gold lead light. They're standing there menacingly looking for the wall. He finds it onto Vin. And now it's going to be Albert jumping in with the puncture. Jumping out. Not going to be enough. He gets slain. A double kill as RSG look for R7. Look for the base. They are back 2-1. Let's see it go all the way.
Let's hear it from the RSG fans! Look at that in the audience, jumping for joy. RSG themselves so happy with this victory and a very well-deserved one indeed.
Well, a great bounce back coming from RSG PH, completely outclassing the drafts coming from RRQ. And you can see the excitement coming in from RSG PH. They understand that is a fantastic, tough game to actually make a comeback. But it is still a pretty long series coming from them. They have to take things one step at a time.
The passion from RSG, and look at Demon Kite. He is feeling it. He's starting to just get his voice out there, right? I love that. I love that from Demon Kite here, and I want to see more of that here as they just regain their confidence with that game. Now it's up to RRQ. The ball's in their court, right? 2-1. It's their game to lose. It's their series to lose.
Yeah, I mean, RSG, they can definitely make a comeback. You know they are calm, they are collected, and with this victory, they definitely are at the cusp of a new momentum here and turning the tables. RRQ, they tried an experimental draft here. Vin, the front line on the Valentina, and RSG punished them for it. So how do you think they're going to start looking? Are they still going to go for this, or maybe a more traditional